Well, yeah, my name's Michael Tier. I'm the CEO of WildBear Entertainment. Our company focuses a lot on the international market. We produce about 50 hours a year. Obviously, when we're looking at growing our business, the thing about Australia is it's obviously really important, and there's a great production base down there, and there's a lot of support as well. But we're always looking for opportunities to kind of grow the pie and look outwards, and I think that's a characteristic of the Australian industry, really. So we've looked more to the international market. We think Australia's got some advantages in that, we've got a favourable scheme with producers offset, we've got a lot of expertise, and in a much bigger pie, which is the international market, you can generate more opportunities and more hours of programming.
So how much on a specific international co-production, what are the possible financial benefits that you can bring to Australia through the various funding schemes that are available, national and statewide?
So there's a couple of opportunities. Obviously the producers offsets one, which is basically a tax rebate on Australian spend. You need to have an Australian producer on the show, and it needs to qualify as being an Australian film. And then there's also the Screen Australia money, there's money from the state agencies and broadcasters. So there's a whole kind of range of tools you can use depending on the structure of the show, depending on who the partners are, depending on what it's about, and you can sort of knit those together to help. Obviously, not the be-all and end-all, but certainly can contribute a key amount to the budget.
So of $1 million high-end documentary production, can you expect to get 100,000 from all of these funders or more?
It really does depend. Anywhere between, say, 10 to 15% in real terms upwards, depending if you get some of the funding agencies involved and the state agencies who also support production. It's not like one rule fits all. It really is a case of kind of navigating the various mechanisms and finding what's going to suit the project best.
And how many international co-productions or co-production partners would you be working with now?
At the moment we're probably working with a dozen or so, and the kind of term co-production, I guess, is one thing where you might look at the official kind of typical co-production model, but co-financing is something as well.
Right.
So you might look at multiple partners for financing. So there might be a producer, there might be a broadcaster, there might be an agency. There's a whole range of different ways of putting it together.
So the other option is to focus just on the Australian market. It's not a valid strategy for you. Do you feel you have to go international?
The Australian market's obviously incredibly important. But also, I mean, if you focus on a particular niche, let's say we do obviously a lot of natural history. There's only so many hours of natural history that will be commissioned in Australia, so it's quite natural that you look at other markets where you may be able to exploit that expertise. So it really is looking at your specialties and seeing where those specialties might apply and what other areas that you can get into.